I'm Thundercloud from the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame, washing away the garbage, leaving rainbows after rain. Everyone knows my mum calls me James. I'm here with Wirogiree, Roger Clarke, Barkindji man. How are you, Roger?
Yeah, I called myself Wirogiree because everyone was looking at me for cultural purposes. So they were saying, when I was growing up, I used to run away a lot from institutions. So they'd be saying to me, "Where's Roger? Where is he?" All the time looking for him. So I adopted the Aboriginal name and called myself Wirogiree.
Well, welcome.
Yeah, and nice to be here, James.
Yeah, and you're going to be our living poet and artist for a while.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, big move for me, and it's great to be here.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to Guyra.
Yeah.
And on that, we'll start with the acknowledgement of country of Banbai people and their continuing connection to the land here in Guyra, and recognition of the elders past, present and emerging, and their continuing connection to the land, and acknowledge that sovereignty has never been ceded. And that's right around Australia too, never been ceded. So acknowledge all the Indigenous people of this continent of Australia, not the Corporation of Australia in capital letters.
Well, when they call us a multicultural, it's not because we're different cultures, but we have so many different cultures embedded in us.
Totally.
And that we are sharing among us all the time through our lifetime.
Let's get on and do some poetry, eh?
Okay.
So, well, you want to read us one of yours out first, and Roger writes in sort of short haiku kind of stuff.
I got on Facebook and I was sick of seeing all the negativity and all the other stuff that they post on Facebook. So I'm a nature lover. I love nature so much. I connect with Mother Earth, and through my dreaming stories that have been passed down to me from past, present and future. And so on Facebook I started posting beautiful photos from all around the world of different places, of animals and nature photos and people and everything. And so I felt a story, close connection with these pictures that I downloaded on my Facebook, and I started putting it together, and I was surprised how much came out of me that adapts to poetry. And because my future is going to be a singer-songwriter, and I thought, well, to have that I need to enhance my poetry. So this one here is called Moments of Time. It's about a picture that I posted of the Antarctic, and it had the Northern Lights coming over it, and this is what I expressed through that picture. A moment of time, an ice-eerie place, a beauty that's shown through eyes that of grace, reflections so blue, a green shade of space, Earth's greatest wonder shows its beautiful face. So that's one of my poems.
Yeah, well, that's beautiful. Yeah, and tonight I'm also going to be reading out some of our local people's poetry that they've written about nature as well, some haikus. So Roger does kind of pretty short poems, but they're really inspiring because you
can turn it into one long poem.
Oh no, but when you close your eyes and you listen and you get that whole picture of where you are, you know. Yeah. And that's really tricky.
Expression, because I used to be inspired in the morning when I open my eyes and go on Facebook. I felt a close connection to what I was seeing and what I felt through what I was posting, and that was most important. Like here's one that I've done also, and it's called Dawn Rises. A new dawn arises on a brand new day. The love of good living has shown it pays to appreciate life, not get led astray from such a wonderful life in such a beautiful way.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. Well, we'll hear some more of Roger in a moment, because speaking of life, I've lost a few friends over these last couple of weeks. One of them was a very good family friend of mine, Laurie O'Brien, who's left his body 6 days ago. And it reminded me of the importance of spirit, and Laurie had a happy spirit, and what I remember about him was his cheeky smile.
Yeah.
He always had a smile. And if we can remember someone by the love and the good things that they give out, well then that's probably how we all want to be remembered, not as...
That's what I miss about having to wear masks these days, is connecting with people through their smile.
Yeah,
you know, because I always had this special gift of making people smile.
Yeah, well, you got to smile with your eyes.
Tourism and being culturally connected, I always had that gift of making people smile. That's what I missed today with
Yeah. Oh, look, I think we all feel the same. Yeah. So, big shout out to Laurie. We lift each other up with a smile or a laugh and an attitude of gratitude and the blessing of having the opportunity to live in a human body. So give thanks for the opportunity to learn, love and create our own heaven on earth. Well, Roger's ducked off for a tick, so I'm going to read on. And this one came into my head from Auntie Pat, Woman's niece, who said, Auntie Pat, it makes me mad some people are like bowerbirds and that, so sad. The bowerbird is not your mate. You'll take and hoards away the gold and blue, the junk and mask, attracting you. He builds a house of straw and sticks and full of junk and plastic bins, satin bowerbird, electric blue, pegs and pens and lighters too, and bits of rope and plastic lids and garbage dropped by filthy kids. A region bowerbird is no better, gold and yellow plastic treasure, hoarding for a rainy day till floods they come wash it away, collecting stuff, attracting mates, making babies out the gate. No love there in plastic treasure, the bowerbird is not so clever. It never used to be this way, collecting plastic junk each day. The bowerbirds they once knew better, collecting flowers and fruits as treasure, but now they're buried in a mound of plastic. The bowerbird is just so tragic. All right, and Roger's ducking back in, and before he jumps back on, I'm going to read one here out of Honey and Men's Love Songs and Other Aboriginal Poems, published by University of Queensland Press. And the first one I'm going to do tonight is a durable song. The durable language was spoken by a group of 6 continuous tribes around Cairns rainforest region, north of Queensland. And and nowadays they refer to with speakers of durable nowadays refer to as corroboree songs or love songs. So what I love about this particular book is that every 2 pages you've got the Aboriginal language over here and the English over here, so I can understand it. And this one, because on Thundercloud, this one's called Thunder, and I believe somewhere out there over on the west coast they're getting a bit of thunder at the moment. I just checked the weather, and it's going to be up here in Guyra, 17 tomorrow, so it's getting warm. 7 overnight, down to -4, or down to 4, sorry.
In my language, Barkindji, we call him Makara.
Makara, or Mugana in Bungalow, and Thundercloud, lots of different names as a Thundercloud, so this is Thunder in Durable. Munga walmanyu murul nungumangu, murul walmanyu munga nungmangu, maranyibiru gubu guragu, mina milim mindu mimba mai jagu, Manga walmanyo muro nungmanrangu, mara nyibiru gubu guragu. Manga walmanyo muro nungrangu, mara nyibiru guba guragu. Minna bilmindu mimba majalgu, munga walmanyo muro nungmanyo. And that now in English. A mighty noise rises up, roars as it rushes by. Rushes and rises, a mighty noise that roars, hurl out that leaf that is soaked in sweat. Bolts of lightning strike and flare, a mighty noise rises up, roars as it rushes by, hurl out that leaf that is soaked in sweat. A mighty noise rises up, roars as it rushes by. Hurl out that leaf that is soaked in sweat. Bolts of lightning strike and flare. A mighty noise rises up, roars as it rushes by. And that was by Jimmy Murray from 1967 in the Guyra dialect of Durable people.
Yeah.
Alright, are you ready for another one?
Yeah, I'll do another one.
Yeah.
Can I borrow your glasses? Cause
Absolutely.
there you go. I'm getting up that age now, 51,000 years old.
Oh,
I need glasses.
Me.
So I tell people. This one here is to welcome in a brand new day, and so I've written this one. A new dawn arises on a brand new day. The love of good living has shown it pays to appreciate life, not get led astray from such a wonderful life in such a beautiful way. That's the one I tried to recite before. This one I call Light on the Horizon. A light on the horizon, our earth so beneath. A life so worth living, in life we must keep. We strive to survive as the universe repeats. A light through our darkness, a connection so deep. So through song and my emotions, what I feel every day, and being connected to nature, a flowing river, a gentle stream, a life of such beauty, a land is so green, a wonder of nature, a love that we feel, awakening of the spirits, a world that will heal. And I'll do one more. Hang on, done that one. I've done that one. This is one for springtime. One time I was really waiting on last year for winter to end with all the rain and that we had for my country, which was good to see. But I love springtime, it's the favourite time of the year. So I downloaded a picture of these gum nuts flowering, and this one inspired, that came out at the time. Flowers that bloom, that come from the trees. The givers of life is that from the seeds. The nectar it has, the birds love to feed. Nature's beautiful wonders is all that we need.
Yeah, wow. Got one more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I downloaded a picture of a whale coming out of the ocean, and beautiful picture. And this came to me: a whale from the ocean, a deep blue sea, the awakening of a soul that sets spirits free. A calling from the heavens, say placeful and say true. Love your Mother Earth, and it will love you.
Yes, that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the earth has no, no judgment, no nothing, it just is.
It just seemed to flow out of me.
Absolutely.
At the time, every time I looked at a picture.
I totally get it. Yeah. I'm the same.
Being brought up institutionalised and going through past trauma, I had to turn the negative parts of my life into positive.
Yeah.
And so being alone, living by myself, just me and my dog, and having a connection on our long walks and appreciating nature for what it was, and being culturally connected to everything that I see within my culture and Mother Earth itself, seems just to flow through me at the time.
Yeah, well, we went down to Mother of Ducks Lagoon with that.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
yeah. And if you get up to Guyra after this lockdown, Mother of Ducks Lagoon is full, and it's got swans and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Well, talking of pictures, this is one I took of Mother of Ducks Lagoon there.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and I'll show you there in Facebook world. You see that? That's lovely. That's Mother of Ducks Lagoon at Guyra, and it's full at the moment. And Roger writes in sort of short but really descriptive poetry, and now haiku is a kind of Japanese poetry, and it's three lines, and the first line usually has 5 syllables, the second 7 syllables, and the third line has 5 syllables again. So I put one up there on the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame website yesterday, and I asked people to write a haiku, and I've got some out of that I created 3 new poets.
Yeah.
Well, they might have written poetry before, I'm sure they probably have, because they're all lovely poems. 4 actually, but I'm going to read out these haiku from local people here around Guyra and followers of the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame all around the world. So are you ready to hear your poetry? Michael Keane, Jan Day, Mary Walls and Ruth Stace. So I'm going to read mine first. Orange clouds glowing. Orange clouds glowing. Yeah, that's 5. Sunset reflects silhouettes. Swimming swans in reeds. Right, and I didn't read that out very well at all. And now here's Jan Day's poem. It's more poetry than haiku because she's missed a couple of little syllables in the middle. Divine suns glowing, ducklings on ponds, southern winds blowing. And Michael Keane, because the mother of ducks lagoons by the golf course. Oh. So his is about golfers. Golfers are cranky, lost half of their treasured holes. Birds don't give a cluck. And moving right along, Ruth Stace. My eyes see beyond beauty that's been created to God the Maker. And then Mary Walls. Now Mary Walls lives right on the far south side of the lagoon and she actually overlooks this. So for years she's been looking at an empty lagoon with just a paddock. Yeah. And now she's, where she looks out, she can probably see swans' nests. There's about 50 swans' nests out there, maybe 20, I don't know, 25. Swans are beautiful, building nests for new cygnets. Oh, what a treasure. And so there are the people who've put on poems, haikus onto the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame. And then I woke up this morning and I realised it's the 1st of spring. So I wrote something which I'm going to share now. And this is a dectina. And a dectina is a kind of poetry. It's got 10 lines. And each line, it begins with line 1 as 1 syllable. Line 2, 2 syllables, 3 syllables, etc., all the way down to 10 syllables at the end. But the 10th line is made up of the first 4 lines. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. So this is a happy spring dectina. Spring, birds sing, roos hopping, tree shoots growing, flowers blossoming, warmer winds are blowing, running rivers, creeks flowing, from mountains where it was snowing, dawn sunlight, clouds of sky glowing, spring, birds sing, roos hopping, tree shoots growing.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Here's one that inspired me too. You look at a sunset and it looks like a cross, and when I seen this beautiful photo of a sunset with a cross in the middle, that resembles our Southern Cross and the dawn of the awakening of our culture, it inspired me to write this. Every morning we wait for the sun, like an incoming tide, we wait till it comes. The spirit and soul that sets our life free is the sign of the times of our humanity. Cool,
lovely. Well, I've got a little garbage one here. Garbage rhymes a little bit with orange. I put this post up because they reckon there's a few words in English that you can't rhyme anything like purple. Yeah. Like, I don't know a right word that rhymes with purple. If you can think of something that rhymes with purple, put it in the comments. So I asked people what rhymes with orange. And they gave me a whole heap of words that they thought rhymed with orange. Yeah. And this is what I got out of it. I was feeling strange and full of courage, so I rearranged my lozenge to eat an orange sandwich as a strange syringe full of garbage language plunged into my orange plumage. Yeah, well, that's what comes out sometimes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Bit of crap. Yeah. Here's one. Monarchy is ruled by king or queen with a crown. Oligarchy is ruled by the elite from the top down. Democracy doesn't actually exist in the Corporation of Australia. Global cities like London, New York, the Vatican are an economic failure.
Wow. Powerful. Here's one I read. A life that ripples a test of time. A sun always setting from the light that shines. A darkness, a shadow that we all need to be is the torments of life where we can all set ourselves free.
Yeah. Can you read that again? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, it's not that one. A life that ripples, a test of time. A sun always setting from a light that shines. A darkness, a shadow that we all know to be is the torments of life where we can set ourselves free.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for reading that again. There's a lot of people quite tormented at the moment with this COVID stuff.
Yeah, well...
I wasn't going to mention COVID, but, did you hear about the Doomsday Variant?
No.
Oh, mate, they're this big, and they go around and they, bite your head off. COVID-22.
Well, we're all institutionalised at the moment, but we can all set ourselves free. And this is one of the ways
free the mind
that frees me from my own institutionalised torments of my past and what's happening today.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's all based on fear, isn't it?
It is.
I have been studying some Brown law. Now, Brown law is the law of the Irish before the English went there. And they had very similar, it was the first written law, so it's actually precedent of common law in the Magna Carta. So it was the first ever written law. And they didn't have any punishment, like punitive justice, like this English law system has. They had Aboriginal compensation law and restorative law. So if you did something wrong to someone, then you had to pay back, or you had to, have that exchange of compensation.
You weren't judged by one person. You were judged as the tribe would judge you. They'd sit you in a circle and they'd all let you know what you've done is wrong.
Yeah. Well, that's how the brands work.
That's what's happening in society is so wrong. It's because there's no punishment of right and wrong.
Well, it's just one group of men and women over in a city miles away deciding, we don't like them doing this thing, we got to take that away, and if they do anything wrong, we're going to punish them like a naughty child.
Well, locking Indigenous people up in square rooms.
Locking anyone up in a square room.
Yeah, so square rooms is a way of taking their spirit, their thing away.
It's taking your fundamental right to freedom away. Because freedom of movement.
Yeah, everything should be based on circle, like down tables. They should be all circle.
So
because we've been sitting in circles since the dawn of time.
True, right?
Yeah. Our Earth is a circle, our Sun is a circle, our planet's a circle.
King Arthur had a round table. He didn't have a square long table or a pyramid table.
That's right.
No, he didn't have a table with all within a big U shape.
That's right. It was a round table. And that's what we should be doing with society today. We should be sitting in circles.
Well, so this brings me back to the point I was studying Bream law and how when someone did something wrong, they would actually call in these poets who were the singers, and they would actually make the decision about, and talk to these people, get a thing. But here's the other similarity. They didn't have the idea of ownership.
Yeah, that's right.
They didn't own the land, they didn't own anything, and if anyone come along, you just fed them for 3 days and they were just a visitor. So, so the government system of today believes that we are we're stock, registered on the stock exchange. Well, it's all about ownership, isn't it? And if you own something and you get greedy, well, you end up with a big cons piracy. And this is something that I wrote this week about the petrochemical industry, because they are one of the biggest funders of our government politicians.
Yeah.
So they're giving lots and lots of money to our government. And so our government then is kind of in a way corrupted because they're influenced by these huge companies that don't actually work in the interests of the people because they're so far removed from what's going on. So anyway, the big conspiracy, when I went to my first university degree, it was a Bachelor of Science in Australian Environmental Studies with majors in environmental pollution, health, and environmental policy and economics. And one of the ideas of environmental pollution and health is that most of the chemicals that are being produced by big companies, big petrochemical companies, when they get in you, they don't do too good for your health.
No, they call it Roundup.
Wow, it's in our food.
Yeah.
It's in our medicines. It's petrochemicals are in everything.
Yeah.
So the big conspiracy, the petrochemical industry was worried that the truth would come out. So they called a secret meeting of executives and they all talked about what they had to do as a distraction from their cancerous pollution. When one spoke up and announced that he thought of a solution. Let's not take responsibility, but we'll have a lot of fun. We'll still sell our cancerous beauty range, but instead we'll blame the sun. And we can sell our poisonous processed food and colouring for hair. We can sell our sunscreens, and we'll also blame the air. We'll dumb the population down so they're too stupid to decide. In water and toothpaste, we'll put in copious amounts of fluoride, then sell it on television until their minds go numb. And if we can pull this off, the whole population will be dumb. So they'll never know the truth that we cause most of the cancer. We'll sell pharmaceutical products promoted as a life enhancer. And we'll keep it our secret. They must never know the truth. That our petrochemical products are a cancerous abuse. And if we adopt this solution, there's no need for us to panic. Come on, let's go and get some lunch in that restaurant that's organic. And other executives spoke up. But we're running out of oil. If we can't make petrochemicals, our profits will be spoiled. People love their cars, so we'll give them all a scare. We can blame the drivers for pollution in the air. And to keep our profits flowing, we'll release a fake infection. Then we can sell to governments more pollution by injection. But the main thing is the truth unknown will keep our profit high. But it really doesn't matter if half the world population die. There's one more thing to do if we're going to make this genocide, pollute the water and injections with our graphene oxide. Because if they're in their graves, they will not get irate. Let's conspire for profit. And the whole world will pirate.
Well done.
Thanks.
I'll do a song out of that.
Yeah, I'll just pop it to a hip hop tune. Yeah.
Yes, it's very powerful. So true. So.
Yeah, I know. It's pollution. Pollution is the solution. If we get rid of pollution in this body, when we can live much, much longer. This tea here has got a cola, ginseng, nettle, which cleans your kidneys out, and coleus, which increases telomerase, which grows the telomeres on the end of your DNA to make your DNA grow back and live longer.
Yeah, we'll try some of your herbal food tonight. Do some healing. Soft.
I'll get you another cup. Might have to put the kettle on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have a break.
How are we going for time? 7 o'clock. Oh, geez, I've just still got half an hour to entertain these people, but I've got plenty more to read out. So,
I have to find the rest of mine.
That's all right. I'm going to start from Lust in Nimbin here. That's my second of my books. Okay. Love in Nimbin and Lust in Nimbin. They're available on what do you call that thing? Amazon. or you can buy them directly from me. Here at the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame. Oh, where was I? Oh, Refugee. Yeah, I also was an English as a second language teacher, and I had lots of refugees at the time. So then the roof blew off my house and I was travelling, and I felt like a bit of a refugee from the city at one stage too. Refugee from society, refugee from war, refugee from killing, refugee from being poor, refugee from your illegitimate country, colonised and more. You can come to me if you're a refugee, protected from the war, protected from the culling, food, a bed and more. You see, just like me, you're a refugee, you left yours and came to this country, but we won't need to flee. I'm not going to be a refugee from this country, so come and walk with me, walk peacefully. Without violence or war, refugees will turn around, our stand our ground against governments and war forevermore. Something like that.
We'll flip a page later and I can read one from that.
Yeah, if you want. If you want.
That's when it comes.
Yeah, but maybe if you want. No, no, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, something out of Loving Nimbin maybe, because this is something actually. 153. I heart my art. Oh, yeah. No, actually, I was going to do the Floogal of Bligalash for you, because I did the Bowerbird. So these are out of my up-and-coming children's book, Seahorse Medicine, Foot-Growing Humans Being. And this one is a little bit of nonsense.
That's a beautiful one. Honey Ann's Men's Love Song.
Yeah, absolutely. This one is a bit of weird shit that I wrote once.
Okay.
In the Floogal of Bligalash, the Guyra crushed, walking sleepishly the klebins a drosh, gravelly enders them, hoffingly zock, holla, has groiden in twad chickas plock. Twad chicka can sport the plock avec Christus, they brushed and clapped whilst drust-stopping flistus, but Guyra noticed, and klebins a plock, avec the broiden in sleepishly broiden in hot. Christus bump bracken twad chicka replocker, Guyra reclaimed the instapo a jocker, avec the mugu he boogracha slap, see fatly and your glad plucketies up. Flistus has clopped the clasting and brusting, summons it holak and reel up the swiftishly pushting, tall-ended sleepishly, triffingly hastock doc nifid nem ronivly nagpart till thwock, plucked 'twas ended from grably and strongingly through, days and dark overgone, aubrishly through. In the Floogal of Bligalash, the Guyra crash, walkle him sleepishly, the kleb him the drosh, gravely ended them, hoffingly zock, hollock has broiden in twad chickas block.
No, what I've just seen there while you're reading that country, you know how the Kings had entertainment. And they used to have the, what were they called?
The jokers.
Yeah, so they had their hats with the bells on it, and coming out and they'd entertain the King and Queen. And they did beautiful poetry. That's what I pictured you just
Thank you.
Done that poetry.
Oh,
and
yes.
I visioned that. It was like you weren't there, but
yeah, poetry has met these
so
lots of roles in society.
The way you expressed it, set me way back in the 1800s.
Yeah, it's sort of, and it's made up of all these made-up words. And words that I just sort of all put together so they rhymed. When I grabbed a few different nouns that I made up word nouns, and then sort of used, but the whole poem is in the way it's delivered. It's like you're giving that, you're going up in, like modulating your voice.
Yes.
Yeah. So people still get taken on a journey, they can kind of understand where you're going. It's a story about something that happened between these people that, did a bit of clapping and brushing and this and that, and you're throwing your arms, and people are sort of, they get it, but they don't quite get it. Yeah. It's one. Yeah, that was inspired by Lewis Carroll and his poem, The Jabberwocky.
Okay.
Yeah, The Jabberwocky, which is pretty sort of a bit like that, but it's a bit easy to understand. Yeah. Oh, dear me. Okay. And now there's one more I was going to do out of here, because...
What, do that one?
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Yeah, alright.
It's a good thing.
Okay, the man and the dolphin. Here we go, the man and the dolphin. They found him in the morning sitting on the beach. He said, "Enjoy the morning and the sunrise out of reach." Well, after that he sat there, he didn't say a word. The sun came up, a wave washed down, he watched the flying bird. Sands go through the hourglass, you can't hold water in your hand. He lived inside the moment and sat upon the sand. The dark night sky was leaving the horizon red, then yellow. A spark of light appeared. The sun arose and said, "Hello." The air was warming up. He went in for a swim. The water warmer than the air, invigorating him. He dived beneath the wave, swam with a school of fish. A dolphin swam beside him, and he got his lifelong wish. And all that he could hear as that dolphin swam around was the sound of crashing waves and a squeaky dolphin sound. He listened to the dolphin, and this is what it said: "Enjoy the now, create the life of joy you want instead of worrying about the future or living in the past. Enjoy each present moment and make the good ones last." He swam back to the shore. He sat upon the sand. He lived inside the moment and his life was grand. He told him about the dolphin and what the dolphin said. The past, the future are out of reach. He heard it in his head. He sat inside the moment, built a sandcastle on the beach. The past, the future and the sun are all there out of reach. A wave washed up the beach and washed the sandcastle down. He laughed and built another one and never wore a frown. All right, good timing. Here we go for another one for me while you're getting ready. There's an amazing fruit called Harataki. It's Terminalia chebula. It's an Ayurvedic fruit, and it works a bit like a laxative. Harataki, it's also a good men's medicine. Harataki, yeah. So Harataki is the wonderful fruit. It cleans the guts and helps your root. Heals wounds and to lose weight. Treats diabetes, flu, and it's freaking great. Take a spoonful in the dawn and you'll be sitting in the morn. Laxative will help you poo. Harataki is good for you. Increases blood flow to the brain. Harataki heals and gets rid of pain. It's even good for your eyesight. King of fruit would be right. Harataki is the wonderful fruit. A little bit each day and you'll be beaut. Wow. And next one. This is, I haven't got a name for it. I wrote it 3 days ago. Yeah. It's about like escaping the matrix. Because sometimes like society programs you to be different things. Like we're all a program or a result of our sum of experiences that have happened in life. And whatever happens in life, how we respond to that, we can choose to be a victim to it, or we can choose to move on and pick ourselves up to it. And so, yeah, programmed to be victims and not to create. And this is where us as poets, we constantly creating, because we sort of realise that doing something that we love is that taking control of our life and moving on, Programmed to be victims and not create a life of nurturance and kindness, which is great. The mind is the creator of all that exists. The science and quantum physics confirms this. The mind is the matrix of all our programs, beginning as little babes being pushed in prams. In an immaterial universe, we can live and enjoy spiritual existence of creation we employ. Consciousness creates our life experiences. If we live in anger or fear, life can be delirious. We've everything we need to create a solution. Every crisis that comes along ignites evolution. And if you look carefully, we've a governance failure sparking social evolution here in Australia. When there's upheaval, we begin to live in harmony. Mass extinction is the planet asking, do no harm to me. Rigid scientific materialism is causing us grief. Solutions of technology is an erroneous belief. It's time to tend the garden and nurture life on earth. Overcome destructive tendencies for new spiritual rebirth. Yeah, because what's happened over time, we were humans, Aboriginal people, us Irish ancestors, of our Irish ancestors, we believed in spirit, and it wasn't a material earth, and God came along and then God disappeared in scientific materialism, totally denying any spirit at all. And suddenly quantum physics comes along and said, spirit's everywhere. It's like God is like the infinite field of all connected vibratory field in the vibratory force of the whole universe. And
well, here's another one I wrote. It's about creation. All of creation and so much more. A place of time that exists from a law. A circle of light that expands from a core is why we're all here. Is why we're all here. Sorry, I'll do that again. All of creation and so much more. A place of time that exists from a law. A circle of light that expands from a core is why we're all here and we're all searching for. So that's the one about the Milky Way, our creation, God, that we call Guyra. And that's God, our creation. That's a light that of all creation that that Barkindji people believe that we will come from. Because we do believe in God, but we believe in a God, not the God. In a religious sense. We're both religious, but we're both scientific.
Without putting like human traits on a spirit.
Yeah, that's right.
As you were reading that, it's really interesting because I closed my eyes and I really had that inside of white light.
Yeah.
That's where I really touched into that light. That's our inner light.
And this is one about connection. The love of life is such a beautiful thing. It's a gift of being and that we can all bring. To the power of its spirit makes our heart and soul sing to heal this world of each and everything. Yeah,
absolutely.
Connection, we all need connection. That's what brought me here to Guyra. To start again is connection to you through poetry and what I can share with you. What you inspire me to bring out the best of me.
Thank you.
Instead of going back into dark places. Because it's a long journey.
We've all got a long time here, haven't we?
That's right. That's
right. In an ocean of wisdom, this is a dedication of water, this one. An ocean of wisdom, a lagoon of laughter, a lake of compassion, a river of consciousness, a stream of ineffable water, just being. Being like water, Go with the flow, rain falling, waves breaking, frost, sleet, snow, lighter than air, being like clouds. Thunderclouds, lightning is very loud.
Oh, beautiful. I lost my sister around about 12 years ago. And so I done a poet. She was beautiful, high-spirited woman. And she taught me how to laugh in life and not look down upon people, and people's equal to everything and all around us. And so I done this poem and I put it out on Facebook. It says, "My dear sister Susie, you meant so much to me. You taught me how to laugh and live my life so free. Now that you have passed, my life is so complete. You gave me so much love for my children yet to see. I live my life for you so that you finally see. I finally found myself, my tribe, the Barkindji."
Yeah, cool. It's love is an amazing thing. How if you come across a loving person that you want to write something and remember them, like my friend Laurie who passed away. He's a big smile. And I showed you this morning, and you're probably out there in Facebook world and YouTube world saw Guyra went viral with a big love heart of sheep. Did you see that?
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, so there's a local farmer here in Guyra who put his sheep feed out in a big heart, and then he let the sheep in and he flew his drone up above it, and it went viral, went all around the world. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And here's one about love. There's a kind of love that comes from within. It comes without judgment of fat, thin or kin. It eliminates fear from below or above. It's compassionate, accepting, unconditional love. Unconditional love is love with no reason. Universal, accepting gratitude for every single season. Love the sun shining and the cold wind blows, of rain falling, blue skies, hail, sleet and snows. Unconditional love has compassion and care, kindness and tolerant of everyone, everywhere. No ego, pride, anger, guilt, blame, shame or fear. It's a practice we can all do every second of the year. Unconditional love even includes love of self, when you nurture your body into a better kind of health, enlightened self-interest, so you can become your best, and you can unconditionally love all of the rest.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you.
This is about loving yourself. Love is like a wave, it comes then it goes. Shows the power of itself every time the wind blows. The beauty of its structure has the knowledge of control. The balance of its movement is what we feel and always have known.
Yeah. I'm going to finish that with the word awesome. No, that's beautiful. But that leads me on to my next one. My mate Steve, he was recharging his phone.
Yeah.
And he pressed the button on the phone and the recorded voice says, "Awesome, I've just sent you the link." And I was just like, hang on, he's recharging his phone. It's not freaking awesome. It's an everyday thing like going to the toilet and having a poo. Awesome is 6 monkeys swinging by a pineapple from their nuts. Awesome is a big man with 3 heads sliding down a mountain on his guts. Awesome is catching an egg with your belly button, but it's not awesome on your phone pressing a button. Awesome is a purple pig on a tightrope doing a jig. Awesome is an Indian elephant balanced on a fig. Awesome is a naked supermodel taking off her dress. Awesome. But pushing buttons is not awesome because most of us can press. Awesome is a triple flipping spin upon a trike. Awesome is a blue whale riding on a motorbike. Awesome is finding gold bullion in a stack of hay. But pressing buttons is not awesome when we do it every day. Awesome is the snow falling in the middle of the summertime. Awesome is a flea lifting up a truck full of orange and lime. Awesome is a blue donkey who can lay an egg, and a crocodile emu that's hopping mountains on one leg. But pressing buttons is not awesome because most of us can press.
Awesome.
Awesome. Oh, I've been waiting for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
It's awesome.
That's awesome.
Have you got another one for us, or maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll find it on my phone. But
All right.
just punch back in.
I'll read this one. A cat is not a dog, a horse is not a frog. A lethal cocktail of synthetic molecules is a genocidal tool. I'm not a fool. A up is never down, a smile is not a frown. Believing in a ruler with a crown is the business of a clown. That was a quick one I wrote last few weeks ago.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, sticker.
Or, well, you're doing that one more quick one. A duck can't drive or pull a plough or be milked, but you can milk a cow. A cow can't fly, swim nor quack, but water rolls off a duck's back. Over to you.
A road from the darkness into the light will always guide you to what is right. When conquering your fears to show your might, life will shine upon you like a star shining bright.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walk through our fears.
Yeah.
It's like overcome our fears. So, well, we're just about done here tonight. How are we going? 7:25. We've got to finish very, very soon.
I was nearly done with chicken out, but I'm glad I did.
Your voice is good. Yeah. You can't, because you can't see the audience.
That's it. We've got to get over stage Friday if I'm going to be up on stage.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I've been around people and my life.
Yeah, well, you've been a performer, busker and all of that.
That was a beautiful one.
Yeah. No worries, brother.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and that's it from me, Thundercloud and Wirogiree from the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up or one of those heart things and share it with your friends. We will also play a replay and we'll put the replay up on YouTube. Yeah. And on YouTube you can go there and give it a thumbs up as well and subscribe and send it to your friends as well. And that's it.
That's it.
Good night.
Okay.
Bye. See you later.
Catch you later.
Boom!